Economics in Action, where we explore ideas and topics related to economics. In this episode, we'll be exploring one of the most important essays in economic history, The Use of Knowledge in Society, written by Friedrich Hayek. Friedrich Hayek was a Nobel Prize-winning economist renowned for his contributions to the fields of economics, political philosophy, and the study of complex systems. That being said, his thoughts and ideas were not without controversy. He is one of the most reviled thinkers of the 20th century to critics on the left due to his promotion of limited government, rejection of the idea of social safety nets, and criticisms of socialism, to name a few. He also faced criticism on the right due to his morally relativistic stance. However, today he is heralded by libertarians and proponents of the Austrian school of economic thought as one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century. We'll try to avoid most of the controversy in this episode and keep our focus on one of his most influential ideas, the knowledge problem, which challenges the feasibility of central planning, but also highlights some profound consequences of decentralized systems. This idea is rooted in the belief that no single entity or group can possess the vast amount of knowledge required to efficiently allocate resources in an economy. To understand Hayek's knowledge problem, one must first grasp the nature of knowledge in society. Knowledge is dispersed and often localized. Every individual possesses unique knowledge based on their own personal experiences, preferences, skills, and circumstances. This knowledge is often tacit, meaning that it is not easily articulated or transferred. For instance, a craftsman might have a particular skill or technique honed over years of experience, which is difficult to convey to another person. Or an entrepreneur might notice some niche opportunity to fulfill some unmet need in the market. Furthermore, this sort of knowledge of, as he puts it, particular circumstance and place, might seem trivial, but its uniqueness is something that every individual possesses that even the smartest people and scientists in the world can't possess. This is contrasted with central planning, as seen in socialist or command economies, which involves a central authority making decisions about what, how, and for whom to produce. The central authority sets prices, decides on production quotas, and allocates resources. This is highlighted in an old Soviet cartoon where a family is sitting around a Christmas tree and the father says, "But Santa, it's winter, so we asked for boots for our son." And Santa replies, "I know, but the only thing available in the state store was a pair of sandals." Hayek argued that a central authority, no matter how well-intentioned or informed, cannot possibly gather and process all the dispersed and tacit knowledge held by individuals throughout society. As a result, any attempt to centrally plan an economy will inevitably lead to inefficiencies and misallocations of resources. For Hayek, the solution to the knowledge problem lies in the price mechanism of a market economy. Prices in a market economy are not arbitrary. They convey vital information about the relative scarcity and value of goods and services. When demand for a product rises, its price tends to increase, signaling to producers to produce more of that product. Conversely, if there's less demand, the price drops, indicating to producers to reduce production. This dynamic adjustment process is spontaneous and decentralized. Each participant in the market, whether a consumer or producer, responds to price signals based on their own localized knowledge and preferences. The cumulative effect of these individual decisions leads to an efficient allocation of resources without the need for a central authority. Entrepreneurs play a vital role in Hayek's understanding of the market process. They are alert to discrepancies in the market, such as price differentials, and seek to profit from them. By doing so, they bring the market closer to equilibrium. Their actions, driven by profit motives, ensure that resources are directed to the most valuable uses, further emphasizing the decentralized nature of knowledge and the inefficiency of central planning. Beyond economics, the knowledge problem has implications for political philosophy and the study of complex systems. Hayek's idea that order can emerge spontaneously from the interaction of individual agents is a foundational concept in complex system theory. It suggests that order and structure can arise without central control or top-down design. So what are emergence or spontaneous order? Well, first, emergence refers to the phenomenon where collective behaviors and properties of a system arise from the interaction of its parts, producing outcomes that are not predictable by merely examining the individual components. In other words, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. For instance, in biology, the coordinated behavior of a flock of birds or school of fish is an emergent property. No single bird or fish dictates the movement of the group, yet intricate patterns and formations emerge from simple rules and interactions. Another example is in neuroscience. Consciousness is often considered an emergent property. While it arises from the interaction of billions of neurons, it cannot be fully understood or predicted by examining individual neurons alone. In spontaneous order, is a specific type of emergent phenomenon, where a form of order or coordination arises naturally from the interactions of individual agents without central direction or planning. This concept bleeds into other areas, one example being policy decisions. When dealing with complex systems, whether they are social, economic, or ecological, the knowledge problem cautions against hubris. It suggests that interventions should be approached with humility, recognizing the limits of our understanding. When carrying out policymaking, unintended consequences can arise from well-intentioned interventions. Friedrich Hayek's views, particularly his emphasis on the knowledge problem and the limitations of centralized planning, have been influential in shaping economic and political thought. However, these views have also faced a range of criticisms. One significant critique revolves around the advancements in technology. Some argue that the rise of big data, machine learning, AI, and sophisticated algorithms might mitigate or even overcome the knowledge problem. With modern technology's ability to process vast amounts of information, central planners could, in theory, make more informed decisions than Hayek might have ever imagined in his lifetime. Another criticism comes from the observation of market failures. While Hayek emphasized the market's efficiency in processing decentralized information, critics point out that markets often fail to account for externalities, such as environmental degradation. This is the idea that while it might be optimal for individuals to make decisions based on their own knowledge conditions, these decisions can have a negative impact on others, leading to a less than optimal outcome in the aggregate. Therefore, relying solely on market mechanisms might lead to a suboptimal outcome, suggesting a need for centralized intervention. Hayek's emphasis on individualism and spontaneous order of markets has also been critiqued from a social justice perspective. Critics argue that while markets might be efficient, they don't necessarily lead to equitable outcomes. Addressing issues of social justice and equity might require centralized interventions, even if that means sacrificing some efficiency. Furthermore, insights from behavioral economics challenge some of Hayek's assumptions. This field, which studies the psychological factors affecting economic decisions, suggests that individuals don't always act rationally or possess perfect information. This challenges the notion that individual actors in a market always make decisions that reflect their best interest or the totality of their knowledge. Lastly, the existence of successful mixed economies offers a practical critique of Hayek's views. Many modern economies combine the market mechanism with varying degrees of government intervention. The success of such mixed economies, especially in regions like Scandinavia, suggests that while the knowledge problem is relevant, it isn't insurmountable, and a balance between the market mechanism and state intervention can be achieved. In conclusion, Hayek's knowledge problem is a profound insight into the nature of knowledge in society and the limitations of central planning. It emphasizes the importance of decentralized decision-making and the price mechanism in efficiently allocating resources. While debates continue about the extent to which this problem can be overcome, Hayek's core insights remain relevant: that the dispersed and often tacit nature of knowledge makes centralized economic planning inherently flawed. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast so you can be updated when new episodes come out.